All right. Welcome everyone for the demo on data science and data analytics. My name is Abhay Prakash Singh. Here is a little bit of introduction of myself. I have been working with the IT industry for almost 23 years now. I worked as senior leadership positions with the um, multiple organizations. My recent uh, job uh, was with a company called Thomson Reuters, uh, and uh, uh, where I was holding a senior position uh, and responsible for some of the product engineering practices as are written here. Right after leaving Thomson Reuters, I have had a startup that is uh, under the platform of T Hub, and I'm also collaborating with multiple startups in that under my startup, and I'm also being a member of NASCOM Hyderabad um, and a certified coach and mentor. I'm very passionate about the stream of technologies that are associated, the future technologies which are artificial intelligence, machine learning, and I work with Kapil to provide training to people uh, on particularly data science, AI, ML stream, and data analytics. So that is my brief introduction. How we would be walking through this is I'll be sharing a video with you guys. Now I won't play this video, but this is just to give you, this is just to you know uh, kind of seed some of the curiosity on what is happening in the data science field. And from there, what I'll do is I'll walk you through like how the market demand is, how we have structured the course, and how what all other aspects that are there. And on basis of that, okay, all right. So yeah, we'll get started. Let others join in, and then we'll get started again. I'll put myself on mute for a few minutes. So there are a few more students who want to join the demo session. So I'll get started in a few minutes. Please hold on uh, for a few more minutes. All right, so here we start again. Um, like I was saying, this is the video which will seed some of the thoughts in terms of how data science is making the changes, and it is not in future, but it is happening right now in different streams and different ways. But this video is a little bit more futuristic, so we'll talk about it once we see that. I'll be playing the clip for approximately 2 minutes, and then we get started from there.
Middle class trap. Right now I'm in Bangalore and I want you to look at that building right now.
So, can somebody confirm that you guys are able to hear the sound of the video when I'm playing that? All right. Thank you once again, and here we go. All right. I think after seeing the video, um, you must have realized that this is like something which is in future. But these were examples of gyroscopic transportation that is being um, run as a prototype and pilot in few of the countries. So even these things were like quite animated. What we have seen, the modes of transportation, like I've said, gyroscopic transportation modes, where those uh, futuristic buses or the vehicles that will take you would have an ability to navigate through different kind of traffic conditions by themselves, right? Now, two things that comes to mind is, maybe you might think that this is very futuristic and it will take a long time, but I think in next 3 to 4 years this would become reality. And yeah, please go ahead. Anybody has any question? Okay, I think I heard something. So yeah, what I was saying is, like, by showing this kind of futuristic development, uh, I wanted to impress upon the fact that the world is changing very fast, and a lot of these things are actually becoming reality. Like the way how these transportation modes were navigating through the traffic situation, making decisions where they were collapsing their heights to keep sure that the streamline or the smooth um, navigation or the continuous navigation is happening. that was part of lot of algorithms of data science that are taking decisions in split seconds to make sure that there is no discontinuity in such kind of transportation modes or means that are being acquired, right? So and when I'm talking about these kind of innovations, it's uh, it's actually good to mention that I come from an age when I started my career. I mean, there was no cellular phones as well, right? And that is the time when cell phones were being invented, and we used to have those cell phones and the purpose that we were serving from those phones were just to communicate at any point that where we were and help about the whereabouts or the updates to our uh, to the people whom do we like to, right? from the point from that point to now where we can at least operate 50 to 60% on our phones is kind of innovation that we have seen in the past 20 years, right? 20-25 years of cell phones, right? So that is how the power how the world is changing. And we are looking at, does anybody has any question? I think I am hearing someone, or is it just that somebody got unmuted by mistake? If you have a question, you can type it on the chat, or you can unmute yourself and just say it loud. I'll answer the question. All right. So so let's come into the next part where what I have put together is, and this is please remember that this is not the, or please be aware that this is not the exhaustive list or the comprehensive list of applications where data science or artificial intelligence um, can be implemented. But what I have put together is few of the domains where data science could make uh, uh, could contribute or can do things. Uh, I'm not going to read the slide line by line, but the idea is to understand that there are almost no domain in today's world where we cannot apply data science principles or data science algorithms, or there is no usage of data science or machine learning or artificial intelligence up to an extent, right? We can do so without any problem, correct? So may I ask questions from you? Can anybody tell me what kind of AI or machine learning tools or apps that you use in day-to-day life? Do you know any of such tools, apps, and anything? Does anybody has any idea? How many of you? Okay, okay. Snapchat. Yes, we have AI features in Snapchat. Uh, how many of you use Google Maps? Right. Google Maps is an implementation of AI, particularly um, their the navigation that is communicated to us as a speech, right? That capability is done through some of the AI implementations. Um, we talk to devices like Alexa or Siri or Google Assistant. All those are also AI implementations. Um, there are lots of, like, I mean, if you start focusing on, there are lots of features, lots of things which are AI driven. I mean, in Facebook, the face tags, right? That is an implementation of computer vision face recognition algorithm, right? So there are similarly many such applications that you can see where AI is coming in. Fake news detection. is one of the areas which is being worked very recently by data scientists across the globe, because there is an with the advent of social media, there is a definitive need to make sure that the news that is passing through, that we are reading or read daily or uh, many times a day, is authentic enough, right? So those are some of the implementations. If you talk about, I mean, you might have heard about autonomous vehicles, right? Autonomous uh, vehicle driving that is being tested in some of the Western countries. That is good implementation of AI. There are there are advanced vehicular techniques or uh, techniques that are being built to assist drivers during their driving. Those are also implementations of AI, right? Coming back to this slide, like I said, I have put together some of the things. You can see there is e-commerce where, and I mean, I'm sure most of us use e-commerce apps such as Amazon, Flipkart, or something of that sort, where you are purchasing something. It is a bit, and basically these all apps use various algorithms to identify the customer set, what kind of customers they want to target. Do they want to target the cash cows? Do they want to target the the ones, those who are start purchasers, right? Or what kind of customers do they want to focus on, and how do they recommend products to all of us, right? I'm sure that we all use one or the other e-commerce app, and we see like tons of recommendations to purchase things from, right? So that is one application. There are lots of application in the healthcare with the with everyone has gone through um, the COVID pandemic, right? We have seen that there are a lot of implementations of medical diagnostics that have been implemented by not AI driven, I would say, but machine learning driven algorithms, right? Similarly, in the finance side, under banking, there is like fraud detection, credit risk modeling, those kind of uh, uh, use cases are already being implemented, right? I mean, if you apply for a loan today, most of your credit risk assessment that happens is done through lots of algorithms rather than a person doing it manually, and that has helped in reducing the turnaround time in the approval of the loan, and uh, helping people with getting the credit that they need without spending much of the time, right? And similarly, there are lots of other implementations or use case which are there, written on this slide, and which are also there, which are not covered through the slide. Like I said, I mean, the intention was not to cover the holistic list or the comprehensive list of all the real-time use cases, but the idea was to introduce to you that yes, the way how products are being built is being changed with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning per se. From this, we'll move on to our next slide, which is about how the uh, market is changing and how it is adapting to all what is happening with these new technologies. So uh, there is an anticipated revenue figure which is of $126 billion by 2025, which would be generated by machine learning or artificial intelligence. There is an uptick in the companies, those who are adopting to this field, and that has been increased by 270% in the last 4 years. There is uh, a prediction that by 2025, almost 95% of the customer interactions or the consumer interactions would be happening by AI, right? Now, I have a point here that I'll share. How many of you use Swiggy or Zomato? I'm sure lots of us, I mean, almost all of us these days, we use Swiggy, or we do use Zomato um, to order food, instead of going to the restaurant, which is kind of at times tiring. Sometimes we do not have time. Sometimes there are other reasons. So when we do use these apps, have you, any one of you, very recently faced an issue with any of these apps and contacted customer support? When I'm saying faced any issue, it might be an app issue, it might be something else, it might be an issue with your order. Have you guys in the recent past contacted their customer support, any Swiggy or Zomato? uh, I can share that I have, in the recent past, I have like some of the order issues where I have ordered, let's say, some of the items, and something was, I mean, I received an order which is missing item, right? So I had to report that missing item. And to do so, I mean, I go to Zomato or Swiggy, I open the app, I just say customer support, and then there is a chat that opens up, right? So if you know that chat which is happening, that is not like a person sitting, we're not talking to a person on the chat. It is just like there is a chat bot or a bot which is helping us. Now there is all data with which they can at least help me with my level one issues, right? So a missing item, they already have my order details, right? What I have ordered. So as soon as I'll just contact them, the chatbot asks me like, do you have an issue with respect to the recent order that you have made, right? So as soon as we uh, and it displays that order, so I have to just choose yes or no. So if I say yes, it then asks me, like, it gives me certain options like, is your order not delivered yet, delay in delivery, or missing item, or uh, wrong item ordered, something of those sorts, right? Those things which are like pre-populated um, uh, issues, or most um frequently happening issues, that there's a list you have to select from there. So I mean, in my case, it was just a missing item, so I say like, yes, missing item, I have to report a missing item. And then they just ask, what is the um, missing uh, item that you want to report to, and then they list all the items that were there in the order. I have to just select the checkbox against the appropriate item that is missing, and then I just say um, uh, okay. From there, they will just ask me, uh, do I need to order this? I mean, do they need to order this for me, or the cost of the item is displayed, and then it just says like, we will refund this amount to you. So once I do that, uh, it's all done and dusted, right? And it usually takes, I mean, I have taken like probably 3 to 4 minutes to explain this, but when you're going through this, it is like not more than 2 minutes job, and it's all done. Versus when, like, almost 2 to 3 years back, when I used to have such issues, I would have to call a number, and then I have to talk to human, and then it will take a lot of time to explain the issue, right? So this is like one example of consumer interaction, that is how being taken over by machine learning or AI, and it is anticipated that by 2025, 95% of such interactions would be happening through AI itself. There is a message on the chat. Please share your email, contact details, and everything, because that is how we will be able to contact you, send you the recording after the session. So please do not hesitate to share your records, share your information uh, with the counselors and us. Okay. Uh, the last point is about that the global AI market is going to increase up to 1.81 trillion by dollar, up to dollar 1.81 trillion by 2030, like humongous number, right? um, and here is something in visual which we can see. If you see the trend of the revenue that will be generated by artificial intelligence, this is an estimated revenue for next 10 years, and started from 2022. So there are 2 years which are behind us, and I'm sure these numbers would have changed because this was the estimated figure, but this is how it's supposed to rise, and by 2032, by the end of 2032, it should be 2,575 billion US dollars. It's huge number, right? So the the idea is to showcase that there is definitely a growing demand in the market for the technology that we're talking about. And that can also be, so this is from the demand side, right? I have only shown you the market statistics, but if you go to any job site and try to search for the ID skills that are needed, top ID skills, tech skills that are needed, you would find that something related to artificial intelligence, data science, data analytics would be in the top 10 list there. And I've just put together to make sure that here we understand that part. So it is like there is demand, a definitive demand, and we need to supply. I mean, we need to have people, those who have those skills mm, to fill up these roles which are being generated. All right. Um, After that, I am going to explain to everyone what data science is all about, and I'm sure in the group there must be some data analyst people, those who want to learn data analytics as well. So I will also explain what all we are going to cover in our course curriculum from the perspective of data science and data analytics. One thing which I want to make sure you understand is that data analytics and data science, they are kind of integrated technologies, and they are complementary to each other. It's not that just one somebody can have one skill and then they can thrive and survive. It is that most likely we need to have a good understanding. If I am preparing for data analytics, I would have to have good understanding of data analytics. Plus, I should be also having decent understanding of what is happening in the data science world. So these are integrated technologies, and I'll explain how our programs are handling that. Right. So the dark uh, background that you're seeing, that is like the superset, which is called data science. Right. Uh, Everything which is written on this piece is from that super science of data science. The first red rectangle that you see, that is about data mining or data analytics. That is the part which is called data analytics. Now, if we are solving any problem with the help of data, we definitely need to have the data, right? Either that data has already been collected or that data needs to be collected, right? So data mining is the science that deals with how the data is going to be collected, whether that data needs processing, right? Cleansing, and then after that processing and cleansing happens, we need to analyze that data. We need to do exploratory data analysis. Now this is the key concept which helps us uncover hidden patterns within data, so that we understand what kind of problems we can solve from this data which we have, right? And what all we can do with the amount of data that we have. Right, from there we move on, and then once data is analyzed, we apply a lot of models and algorithms. Now these models and algorithms which are under this green rectangle is called artificial intelligence, while if you look at this yellow color rectangle, that is called machine learning. Now machine learning, if you see, has data mining also included in it, and that's why I was saying this is integrated technologies. We need to have good understanding. A data scientist or a machine learning engineer should have a good understanding of how data is acting, else they won't be able to uh, uh, perform good models or algorithms on that, right? So in this yellow rectangle, we have like models and algorithms. Then we have neural networks, data, a deep network, deep, uh, sorry, deep learning algorithms, and then there are intelligent agents that are built on top of that. Now, if you see the yellow rectangle, the blue rectangle, and the green rectangle, they have something, most of the times they are overlapping, and the models and the algorithms that are starting from machine learning, and then they become more advanced and thus become part of either deep learning, in terms like there are artificial neural networks, there is convolution neural network, and those kind of techniques which are part of deep learning. And then there are intelligent agents, those are built, that has the capability which are worked upon by the algorithm. So like when I'm talking about, let's say if you talk to Alexa, right, what do you do, right? I mean, you um, whatever is your native language, you say something to Alexa, right? Now computers or anything, right, there is a chip that which is giving that power to Alexa to perform all the operations, right? So when, let's say, I said, Alexa, can you play a song, right? And then I say, what is that song? So my text is, sorry, my speech is converted to text, and then it is converted to numbers that is being supplied to Alexa. So Alexa then those numbers, and then it produces the output, which is in numbers. This then converted into text, and then converted into the speech from the device itself. That is the capability that intelligent agent has. So Alexa is the artificial intelligent device, right? AI device that we have. But at the back end, the models and the algorithms are helping it, right? So that's what is being explained by these three rectangles, which is yellow, blue, and green, right? Once all this is done, you have applied some models, algorithms, you have gotten the output from the data. There are some problems that you're solving. Then you have to communicate that to your audience, right? The machine learning model will not like it's not like a magic wand where we just uh, do something and then we see the result, right? And which is understandable by everyone, right? We need to make efforts, we need to put together the report in such a manner so that we can communicate it back to the leadership that okay, this is the outcome or the output of uh, the report that uh, uh, that we are generating by solving or by implementing these models or all algorithms on on this data set. Based on that report, uh, actually leadership take decisions, right? Or the stakeholders take decisions. So now when I'm saying uh, communicate, visualize, report, right? Work on that report. Now that is again part of data analytics. Sometimes machine learning engineers do it. Sometimes they work with data analytics team and they work together and then they produce the report. So these are again one of the example how these technologies are integrated and they don't work in silos or uh, in uh, in isolation. All right. Um, this is something which is uh, again I have captured from internet, but this represents how we are uh, uh, covering our courses. The course is built on this. This is kind of a guidelining framework. So we have foundational stuff where we cover Python for AI and ML, basic Python that is being covered. We also covered visualization basics. By visualization basics, I mean to say that we cover visualization techniques such as Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, so that we can find out hidden patterns within the data. This is part of data analytics. I mean, anybody who's wanting to learn data analytics would also have to go through that. And then we do also cover statistics and probability for artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? Apart from that, we do cover under the machine learning part, we do cover supervised learning, ensemble techniques, all these topics which are there, unsupervised learning techniques, which are part of machine learning. From there, we move on to deep learning, and then we do cover neural networks, deep learning, using the libraries such as TensorFlow, Keras, and other subsequent libraries. We do make use of Google Collaborator or Kaggle platform to make sure we run our code on that. Uh, and then there are two applications, uh, which is of applications of deep learning, which is called computer vision and NLP. Now we do um, what we do is we just introduce this to you. This requires a lot of time. So we introduce this to you, but this can be like another um, this could be a segue for another program or for self learning as well if you want to learn through there. Now this is all together, this takes 4 months of time where each topic we do some of the assignments and the projects, and you gather understanding by doing things rather than by just classroom training, right? And after the 4 months program, there is a 2 months internship that is also being offered by Kapil IT, right? Um, from there, I move on to something which is life cycle of a data science project, right? This is again, I have not created this visualization. If you search on the internet, you'll find it out. I've just taken some of the graphics which are working out well for introducing the topic to all of you. So, if you look at this, sorry, I'll just, yeah, yeah, okay. So basically, what happens is, if in real time, what happens is, how do we work on a data science project? Is that we get a problem statement, and we do understand that there is. We try to understand what is the what domain this problem is, what is the objective of this problem, what do we want to solve, what all we can get, do we have data for all this problem statement and all that stuff, right? That is called the first part, which is business understanding. Once we are clear through that, then we move on to the part two, which is data mining, right? So then we start capturing the data or gathering the data. If you remember, I take examples of COVID because everybody has gone through COVID and everybody understand this. So if you remember, there was a site called Worldometer where there's a lot of data being published around COVID for all the countries, for all the regions. How many, what is the infection rate, what is the fatality rate, what is the recovery rate, and all that stuff. That is like how we need to collect data, because once we have that data, then only we would be able to take any decisions or try and find out what could be done to solve these problems, right? So that is, that comes under the part of data mining. That is part two of the project life cycle. Then we move on to data cleaning, right? I mean, once we collect the raw data, there is either a need to clean the data, transform the data, process the data. There could be multiple things that we need to do. Sometimes we need to handle the missing values. Sometimes we need to cleanse the data from other aspects as well. Sometimes we have to handle outliers. All that is done in this part. From where we move on to the phase four, which is data exploration. Now data exploration is part of the EDA technique that I have spoken about. Exploratory data analytics analysis, where we try to analyze data from different aspects and try to uncover hidden patterns, try to visualize some of the patterns which are there, and then understand what all we can do with this data, right? What all problems we can solve with this data. This is super critical step. Until here, we have not done anything on machine learning. This is all data analysis, right? So data analysis is a big chunk of data science project lifecycle, right? From here we move on to feature engineering. Now this is also, feature engineering is like which features are important in solving problem when we are going to apply the models and all. That is also being decided by the teams combinedly, like machine learning specialists or engineers with data analysts, right? And from there we move on to predictive modeling. Once all this is done, then there is basically, it is like implementing the model. Which model is going to give us the results? How do we evaluate the model? How is it performing in the test? Whether we are getting the desired accuracy or not. From there, once that predictive modeling is done, then we again do data visualization, which is like the preparation of conclusion report, and then presenting the facts and the findings, learnings, and the results to the stakeholders or the leadership. So this is how a full data science project life cycle is. Any data science project life cycle is. If you understand, one of the perspective that I what I when I brought it in is that there is equal amount of data analysis and data science capabilities that are needed to complete this project, right? So that's all I have for you. Thank you for being part of this demo. I can take some questions right now. So if anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself, ask a question, or you can put together your question on the chat, and I'll uh, make sure that I have an answer for you. I hope you have all provided your contact details in the chat so that we can reach out to you after this demo session. If not, please do supply that. If there are any questions regarding the duration, fees structure, and everything, you can ask those questions to the counselors. They would have all the answers for your such questions. If you have any technical questions regarding the content of the program, um, anything that you need and want to understand on the technology side of it, I can help you with the answers right now. Okay, silence means that you do not have any questions. So then that's all I had to share. Thank you for joining this. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, is there a question?
Hello, sir. My name is Mohammad Isham. I'm having some doubts, so that's why I want to clear with you.
Yes, please go ahead, Mohammed.
Sir, I'm a little bit confused. Like, what is the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist? Can you please explain?
So data analyst is a person who works on the data part, right? I will take you back to the slide where I was explaining um, what all uh, this stream contains, right? So if you look at this red rectangle, anything that is there which is needed to work on from a data perspective is the responsibility of data analyst, right? While the data scientist, sometimes this role is being played by the same person, sometimes there are two different persons playing this role, right? So a machine learning engineer should also have understanding of all these data analysis techniques and capability to understand the data, because that is important for that person to make decision on what all models or algorithms we can apply, right? Once data is there, then machine learning engineer or data science engineer has the responsibility to apply some of the techniques from data science world and get us the outputs. When we get the output, again data analyst would compile those outputs to prepare a report, so they will work very closely. Now, like I said, these two roles either can be played by same person or can be played by two different persons in case if there are teams that are divided on the basis of data analyst and data science.
Okay. And like Python is
Mhm.
overall Python is required to perform a data analytics or a data science. Like how we will Python
No,
is used for full stack.
yeah. So no, we do not require full Python. So okay, that is a good point. I missed that part. So when we will be covering this program, right? So what is going to happen is there would be an introductory Python that I would be introducing to you. So we will be like dealing with NumPy, uh, Pandas, those kind of libraries, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly. Those are the ones which will be introduced. But we have basic Python classes for all the data scientists, those who are going to join this program, be it data analyst or data science roles. You will be given uh, separate basic Python classes. That does not mean that you have to go through full stack. That does only mean that you understand Python better. The the way how Python is being used in this program is that you need to understand all the libraries and make sure that you can perform or you can extract the capabilities that are present in the Python in shape of libraries, and you can use it in your code to run all um, uh, or get all the capabilities that you want to get, right? So that is what is going to happen on Python. Data analyst, those who are going to join this program from a data analyst standpoint, I will be covering these first two sections, and you need to be on this class for these sections. Then the data analyst would also get um, training on Excel, advanced Excel, um, uh, Tableau, and Power BI. Um, and SQL. But the instructors are different, but you will get all these things also and in Kapil IT you would see, right? I mean, you are just joining one program, but you are getting like three different um, flavors of different courses. That does not happen usually in any other uh, training institute where you go. It is just that you join the program and you get the trained on that stuff. But yeah, we try to help you out in aspects that you learn everything that is needed for for you to become successful. So yes,
Okay.
uh, a long answer to your short question, but I hope that gives more clarity to you.
Is non database language is used for the data and data science lifecycle? Non database language like MongoDB.
So MongoDB is also a database, right? It is
Yes.
not a relational database. It is a NoSQL database. Now
Yes.
in data science, we do not teach you databases. Like I said, we will give you SQL classes, and I think it covers some part of NoSQL as well, just to make you understand what is the difference between a document-based NoSQL database versus a relational database such as SQL or Oracle or or other such SQL or other such relational databases, right? So that kind of knowledge is given to you. But going into like MongoDB, NoSQL, those are like extensive programs. Then you would have to join a database program with us, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for questions and answers. Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome. Anybody else has any questions before we call it a day? All right, guys. Thanks for joining this demo, and I wish you a good weekend and good rest of your day. Please do reach out to the counselors. Please do drop your details to the counselors so that we can reach out to you. And if you have any further clarifications or questions, please do not hesitate to ask those with counselors, and they will be getting in touch with me to help you get the answers if there are any technical queries still intact in your brain. Thanks for joining the session. You have a great rest of the day. Bye.